They can also make a deal, though, too. And they're going to the table right now with SAG AFTRA. So hopefully they make a deal. Bob Iger and everybody else there, because today was the first day they sat down and started talking. And I went till about 5:30, something like that, 6 o'clock today. They were actually negotiating Alf Wilshire at SAG AFTRA. And all the big wigs came in like they did with the WGA strike at the very end. We had, Bob Iger was there. You had Ted Sedaros was there. Zasloff was there. I mean, they were all sitting down to have a moment to talk to him. And Donna Langley, too, we're trying to figure out if they can make a deal happen this week. Hopefully they can. They're not meeting again until Wednesday. So they're taking a day off. Okay, hopefully it's going well. There's not really much information. There was an insider that was there saying, like, no one's going in this overly excited saying this is going to happen right away, or assuming that it's going to be easier because the writers have made a deal. And they're saying we'll have to wait and see what they bring to the table, which they're not saying right now. Then they're going to go from there, of course. And I hope a deal comes this week because people want to get back to work. And it's been going on for a long, way too long. And WGA is still saying solidarity. They're going to still stand the picket line if they're not working, that is, to help picket with SAG AFTRA to push this forward. So, and to make a deal happen, and a fair deal, because they need a fair deal. It's about time, I don't know. Like, I keep going back and forth about this, thinking to myself, like, the fact the writers got a deal, does that really mean that SAG AFTRA will sign this week? And I keep thinking that, oh yeah, maybe it will be, but maybe it will. There's also the counter, argument that they have plenty of time. People can start writing and they don't need actors right away. So maybe they will wait it out and take a little bit longer with this. But if they're willing to sign a deal now, are we going to have a deal this week? What do you think, Paul? We going to have a deal? Or do you think this is going to be, that's just hopeful information, hopeful news?
I think it's okay to be hopeful. I think it's okay to stay positive, especially after seeing the WGA getting their deal done. But I personally think it's going to take a little more time. I mean, I was hoping today would be the day since they went back into negotiations, but here we are. We're still back at, not having a deal. So it's probably going to take a week or two, maybe less, maybe by the end of the week. I don't know.
Yeah, that fingers crossed. And I mean, the fact is that their statement too was very vague, just like they did with WGA last week or the other week when they were like, yeah, we're going to sit down again. It went well. We're going to, go over some more things on Wednesday. And that's all they said. And they started at noon today and they went till like 5 or 6. So then not a lot of time, but I think dipping their toes in the water, right, Sabrina, just trying to see where we're at right now since July 14th and to see if we can have some kind of push forward. Do you think this is going to happen soon, Sabrina, or do you agree that maybe it's going to take a little bit more time?
I think we're heading in the right direction, like the writers securing a deal is definitely super helpful. And it also means that the AMPTP is ready to, give a little bit because they were kind of stuck on stupid for quite a while. But I think it's still going to be a little bit more time with the actors. The AI thing is a little bit more pressing than it is for the writers, or it's a little bit more, what's the right word? Threatening, fucked up, scary. Like with the writers, it's a little bit different. But with the actors, like there's going to be a deal soon. I hope. I just don't think it's going to be like this week. Maybe next week, hopefully. And then theoretically, like I don't really think much is going to start happening until after the holidays. Because once everything's good to go and contracts are signed and they're ratified, then, people have to go into pre-production. Pre-production takes a hot minute. Shows that were shut down and currently shooting, they may be able to go right back to work, but I don't think that there's a lot of, those productions that are going to be able to immediately jump back on the horse. I think we're going to be still slow until January.
Yeah, there's going to be some that maybe you're right, Sabrina, I can get back there. And Richard Tracy, you're right. It makes no sense to have writers and no actors. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way these contracts work. It's like they couldn't negotiate with the actors until they figured out a deal with the writers. They're not going to negotiate at the same time. It's just not allowed, so they have to do one and the other. And so the hope is that, this will snowball into, okay, we'll get a deal with the actors now. And they gave on AI with them. Why would they not give it on AI with us? But there's also the whole idea that AI is a lot different for actors than it is for writers. It just is. Different paperwork, different agreements you need to reach, and there's a lot of stuff that's money-wise they have to figure out.